Have you ever stopped for a second and asked yourself why so many men, once they cross 70, suddenly begin fighting battles that nobody warned them about? Battles that have nothing to do with money or fame, but with survival itself, and why it seems like the strength they carried for decades just drains away when the clock hits that age. Let me tell you something that most people don't talk about openly, something doctors rarely say in plain words, something even families ignore until it's too late. Because after 70, men don't just get older, they enter a stage where their body, mind, and even society begin to work against them in ways that are shocking, cruel, and often silent. It starts small. You notice a man who once carried groceries with ease now struggles with a single bag. Or a man who once led conversations now sits quiet, almost invisible in the corner, and everyone assumes it's just normal aging. But the truth is far darker than that. Testosterone drops like a crashing elevator, stripping away not just muscle but confidence, drive, and even the spark that makes a man feel like himself. And when that combines with weaker bones, stiffer joints, and slower reflexes, survival itself becomes a test every single day. Add to that the silent killers, heart disease creeping up, arteries hardening, memories slipping in ways that make a man question his own mind. And suddenly, life after 70 isn't just about retirement plans or grandkids. It's about waking up each morning and silently asking, will my body betray me today? But here's the deeper part most people miss. The struggle isn't only physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It's the crushing realization that society values youth so much that once men lose their strength, they start feeling like they've lost their worth too. And that loneliness, that feeling of being unnecessary, eats away at health faster than any disease ever could. And let's not forget diet. The years of processed food, sugar-loaded drinks, and fast meals on the go suddenly show their revenge at this age, clogging arteries, draining energy, and pushing men towards strokes and diabetes they never prepared for, while stress from a lifetime of responsibility has already left its fingerprints on their hearts. Many men at this stage also face something hidden, sleep problems that mess with recovery and lack of deep rest that the body desperately needs. When nights turn restless, days become heavier, and life slowly feels like a punishment instead of a blessing. The shocking truth? Survival after 70 isn't just luck. It's the result of every choice made in the decades before. From whether he moved his body daily to whether he dealt with stress or bottled it up, from whether he built meaningful connections or lived in isolation. And when those things are ignored, the body takes its payment in the last chapters of life. But here's the part that should make every man and every family stop and think. It doesn't have to be this way. Yes, 70 can be the breaking point, but it can also be the doorway to a second life. If men take action, eating real food that heals instead of harms, keeping movement in the daily routine, even if it's just walking, rebuilding connection with people instead of sinking into loneliness, and most importantly, refusing to accept that old means finished. Because the truth is, survival after 70 is not just about avoiding death. It's about choosing life, fighting back against a culture that tells men to fade away quietly, and remembering that the human spirit doesn't retire. It only weakens when we let it. So, if you're listening right now, don't think of 70 as the end. Think of it as a wake-up call, a warning that demands change, and a chance to rewrite the last phase of your story with strength, purpose, and dignity. Because the shocking truth most men never hear is this: Life after 70 can either be a slow fade out or the boldest chapter yet, but only if you refuse to surrender and choose to survive with fire still burning in your heart.